Final round. Missed question corrections. Part 13. Bonding and grounding. Wire binding screws, with upturned lugs, allowed on, number 6 wire or smaller. Wire binding, upturned lugs, number 6 or smaller. Wire binding, upturned lugs, number 6 or smaller. Wire connectors with binding nuts, rated for number 12 or smaller. Wire binding nuts, 12 or smaller. Wire binding nuts, 12 or smaller. Concrete encased grounding electrode, 20 feet long, what size ground wire? Number 4 AWG. Concrete encased ground electrode, 20 feet long, needs 4 AWG. Concrete encased ground electrode, 20 feet long, 4 AWG. Concrete encased ground, minimum thickness of, ½ inch. Must be covered by concrete, 2 inches all around. Concrete encased ground, minimum thickness of, ½ inch. Must be covered by concrete, 2 inches all around. Largest resistance to ground allowed on ground rod? 25 ohms. Max resistance to ground rod allowed? 25 ohms. Max resistance to ground rod allowed? 25 ohms. Drive aground in rocky soil? Install 1-foot plate electrode, 30 inches deep. Ground in rocky soil, install 1-foot plate, 30 inches deep. Maximum voltage to ground on home, branch circuit? 150 volt to ground. Max volt to ground, home circuit, 150 volt max for home, branch circuit. Flex conduit may be used in runs of 6 feet, without needing a separate ground. Flex conduit needs separate ground after runs of 6 feet. Minimum size grounding electrode? Number 8. Minimum size ground, number 8. Largest service wire is 2/0 or 3/0, smallest ground allowed is number 4. Service with 2/0, number 4 ground. Service with 3/0, number 4 ground. Service with 2/0 or 3/0, needs number 4 ground. Bonding definition. Permanent joining of metal parts, guarantees safe conducting electrical continuity, to any path at any current. 408Y, 277 volt feeder circuit and panel board, grounding electric conductor is not required. 408Y, 277 volt feeder circuit, panel board, grounding electric conductor not required. 408Y, 277 volt feeder circuit, panel board, grounding electric conductor not required. How to ground transformer in wooden structure? Both attaching to metal water pipe, and attached to ground round. Ground transformer in wood structure, attached to both metal water pipe, and ground rod. On a 30 kVA, 480, 208, 120 volt transformer, where do you ground it? To the neutral. Ground a 30 kVA, 480, 208, 120 volt transformer, to the neutral. Minimum size rebar for grounding? Number 4. Minimum size rebar in grounding, number 4. Smallest ground 5 feet from inside pool wall is number 8. Within 5 feet of pool wall, number 8 ground. Service box is grounded by rod driven into the ground. What is AU first system? Bare copper to a ½ inch rebar, 20 feet or longer in foundation. Interior metal water pipes, bonded to both the ground at the service and the service equipment enclosure. Bond interior metal water pipes to both service equipment and ground wire at service. 480 volt transformer, bond to ground with neutral. 480 volt transformer, bond ground to neutral. May run bond to grounding conductors onto metal trapeze, cable trays so long as fittings are legible and durably marked. Aluminum cable trays rated as equipment ground fault in circuits up to 2000 amps. Aluminum cable tray, rated up 2000 amps as equipment ground fault. Smallest ground wire on pool light with non-metallic conduit, number 6. Pool light, non-metallic conduit, number 6. Pool light, non-metallic conduit, number 6. Healthcare, exposed metal raceway, max difference on 1000 Hz frequencies on 1000 ohm scale, 500 millivolts. Healthcare, exposed metal raceway, max difference of 500 mV, on 1000 Hz frequencies on 1000 ohm scale.